Welcome one and all to Sports Month here on Ocean Planet. Whether you're actually a sports fan already, interested in the world of sports, or have little to no interest in anything physical, sports and anime actually has the effect of turning the mundane, boring sports into something so hype. Regardless of your interest, sports animes are always a fun and exciting way to get yourself into a sport, whether you know about them or not. So without further ado, let's talk about arguably one of the most popular sports, football! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Month here on Ocean Planet. Today we are going to be talking about Eyeshield 21. Before I get into the show, let me give you guys a crash course on the players in football. For any of you new to the sport. The quarterback, playmaker, passer, leader, running back, invader of enemy territory, running the football across the field, wide receiver, the catcher, masters of the air, tight end, the whole thing. Defense, the iron wall protecting their teammates. Together these make the American football team. Now that you're a little bit more knowledgeable, let's dive in. Eyeshield 21 was originally a shonen manga written by Richiro Inagaki and was adapted into an anime in 2005. Eyeshield 21 follows our young protagonist Senna, who really isn't the most popular. Actually, he's not popular at all. He gets coerced into being a mole for everybody, and in truth gets babied a lot by his friend Mamori. But then one day something happens. He gets bullied to the point where he stands up and decides to run away, but giving them a quick one, all the bullies that were giving him a hard time. But he is actually being watched by the clever eyes of the quarterback, Himura. After some quick cuts, spins, and dashes, Senna is recruited as the team's running back. From here on out, it is an underdog story of one team, the Damon Devilbats, and their passion, drive, and resolve to get to the famous Christmas Bowl. There's a lot of elements in Eyeshield 21 that can be considered cliched, but in truth I actually found a lot of the dialogue, training montages, and football games to be designed in a fun and innovative way. Some teams are actually themed, and it usually connects to their playstyle, like the Tayo Sphinx, an Egyptian-style team with the strongest line, or the Ojo White Knights with the world's greatest linebacker, and my personal favorite besides Damon, the Cebu Wild Gunmen, the cowboy-based team. It's fun elements like these that bring a very human and lighthearted narrative. But when it's game time, oh man, you're actually cheering for the team. There were times when I was actually so absorbed that I would shout out, "Go this," or "Yeah, blank." But despite how absorbed I might have been, with the series length being about 145 episodes, there were times when it may have been a little repetitive. But even so, it was fun watching each individual game, seeing the new opponents, and watching the crafty work of the Demon Devilbats. It can connect to you on an emotional level, sometimes leaving your heart pounding or even speechless. But yes, within those 145 episodes, there's definitely times where you feel like everything is just too much. There's a lot of episodes where it'll be a week long, where it'll be just training and training and training until you get to the football game itself. But it's sometimes in these training moments when you actually get some exposition from different people, different teammates, all these elements that kind of come together and really make the narrative what it is. It's not the greatest narrative out there or the greatest aspects of storytelling, but it is hype, and it is also very compelling on a very cliched level. Eyeshield does have pacing issues, and the pacing is sporadic. It can be going really good and well paced, and then it can just slow down to those moments. But its acceleration rate goes through the roof and trains its way to the top until they win, and we repeat. Senna Kobayakawa is as standard as shonen main protagonists go. He gets bullied but wants to become stronger. This will be a reoccurring theme in some of these shows we're going to be talking about during Sports Month. But funny enough, in this situation it's fine, because it works. Though Senna might not have the greatest development ever, His growth in the series is actually pretty interesting. Though in this persona of the greatest high school football player ever, Eyeshield 21, you see this battle with Senna in himself as this superhero personality where you can't tell anyone who you are, otherwise they'll recruit you to another team, and it's fun to watch. Many times you see his will to evolve, sometimes mid-game, and just being all around awesome. Just look at this cut, this spin, this... Then we have the mastermind tactician Himura, the quarterback. This is the guy sports vines are made out of. He's passionate about football and his dreams of getting to the Christmas Bowl drive him. Winning is all that matters. He also has guns. A lot of them. MLG amounts of guns. Hiruma as a character is just fun to watch as you see the visual chess match full on the field. His ears bother me though. Of course, the whole Devil Bats team is fun to watch with the small but tenacious Komusubi, the Goliath Kurita, the Delinquents, and some of the most passion comes from the wide receiver Monta. He's next in line when it comes into development, but he does get lost in his own hubris sometimes, trying to be the ace catcher. And then there's the tight end. Moving on. Funny enough, the other teams do get developed enough to where you see the drive that carries them. This is what makes it fun to watch these no-hold-barred matches, as you're watching each team playing at the best that they can play. This show's animation is very, very average. Not bad, mind you, but average. The only time it's really shined to me was when there was actual special moves in-game, and in general whenever a game of football was actually being played. Other than that, it was passable, but nothing special. Nothing was really as vast as it needed to be, and attention to detail is little, but in general the show does well in its consistency. Art directions for the character design is really good on the flip side. They did a good job of making players look like the teams they played on, like Hiruma with his Devil Bats, or Kid from the Wild Gunman. Sound-wise, you get about the same level, average. But once again, while cool moves are happening, it's definitely making them more epic, the sound that is. Openings are hit and miss. Breakthrough, the very first, is a very light with the synth rock styling. I find breakthrough, I'm just dreamer. In a sense, is a little bit more boring with some acoustics. And my hands down favorite is Dang Dang, quote unquote. It's a fun pop punk song filled with power chords. And the others are just boring, the openings that is. Endings are also boring. All in all, Eyeshield 21 is a fun show that may drag on a little more than necessary, but is an all-around fun show to pick up if just for the fun and over-the-top games. It's lighthearted and it doesn't need to be taken that serious. If you love football or are interested in football and like anime, Eyeshield 21 is definitely a pickup I recommend to you. With all that being said, Eyeshield 21 gets an overall score of 7 out of 10. Once again, thank you guys all for watching, and next week we will be taking a look at week 2 of Sports Month. And until then, keep swimming.
Jam, pump it up while your feet are thumping, and the jam is